out for that.
If Josh wasn't 9 minutes late,
I know.
maybe
I
we're
would have
valuing of your time.
I know.
What's happening with
Ready?
your microphone?
1, 2,
Jenga.
3. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Download Youth Ministry
Hola.
Web Show. This is episode number 275.
No, it's not.
285.
There you go.
285. Hey, everybody!
Welcome back. Hey!
Doug Fields here with Josh Griffin.
Hello.
The king of high school ministry, Jason Carson.
Hello.
The king of senior pastoring, and the queen.
Yeah.
who has been here many times now. This is like your 10th show,
like
right?
a regular,
Jessica
It's
regular
episode
guest.
10 for me.
Torres.
Yeah, see, but remember my
Torres.
maiden name.
Yeah, that's
Of
right.
many
Oh, yeah,
episodes
Sanchez.
ago.
Torres.
Sanchez.
I always say Torres dash Sanchez, just in case you want to keep the full name. I got
Facebook.
you.
Or in
I'm
case the
also
marriage
the rebel.
doesn't really work out.
Well, that's what I'm holding on to is I still haven't legally changed my name.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah.
You never know.
If we travel somewhere, she's always like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Torres. But your last name is Sanchez.
I know.
Torres.
Not the government does
rolling
not
the R,
recognize
rolling-
me as
Did you,
Torres.
you didn't have a middle name originally, if I remember this right.
I still don't have one,
Okay,
Josh.
you still don't. All right. I just think that's interesting.
I could make my maiden name my middle
got
name.
one.
My middle
yesterday.
name
I don't have a
is
middle name.
my middle name's Peter. So Joshua Peter Griffin. There you go.
Douglas Montgomery Fields.
I like it.
My middle name is Jason. Not joking.
Wait.
Jason Carson?
Nope. He's going to tell us his
your
real
real
first
name?
name.
No, I'm
What's
not.
your real
This
name?
is
It's not going to happen.
Why?
Jason.
I was named. I'm Kenneth Jason Carson. Kenneth the Third. True story.
This is unreal.
It's unreal.
So
you- no
send
one
your
knew
questions to
And-
Web Show Download Youth Ministry. Include Kenneth. You include Kenneth.
Kenny,
I'll tell you
we got a
this,
question for
right
Ken
to the
Dog.
top.
I'll tell you, my parents said right on the way home from the hospital, we're going to call him Jason from here on out. So it screwed up my social security, my credit.
my
It screwed
goodness.
up like my, loans,
Well, that and you don't pay
freaking
for
flyer
your...
miles.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
And those credit
Anyway,
cards.
this
high school.
this podcast is brought
Who's
to you
counting?
by the Orange Conference.
Yes, it
That's the
is.
Orange
Hey,
Conference.
Orange.
And we're going to be at the Orange Conference at the end of April.
We'll be there.
You can
You
go
should too.
online, check that out. We should do a show.
We should do a live show.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Bring
Jessica, you gonna
Jess.
go?
I don't know.
We can bring Jess, bring Kenny. It'll be great.
Talk to my boss.
Kenny.
See if he'll take me.
It's disrespectful to my grandfather.
I'm going to invite you right now, Jessica Torres Sanchez. Come with.
Okay, I'll see you
great.
It'll
there.
be fun. Atlanta in April. Who doesn't want that?
It's great.
I'm in.
It's great. It's one of the best conferences I've ever been to. Maybe the best.
Wow.
Wow.
That's high praise. You've been to quite a few.
I know. They just do it well. They're just...
They do.
They're thoughtful. They're strategic. Great content. Great people. Great experience for the children's person, the youth worker, the family person, the senior
Yeah.
pastor.
Well, and I'll throw one thing into there too. What I was really impressed by, Atlanta is where Orange is based, or Rethink Group, or their company. So they bring a lot to the table. Like I went through this Orange experience.
Yes.
You're going through this whole setup. It's like a movie
Through
set
the
that
hallways?
you're on.
Through the hallways, yes.
The
Amazing.
production level of that. If you're like a touring show or a one-off conference that rotates, you can't do what they do in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was called Just a Phase Experience or whatever. It was incredible. So
Every year of life, 0 to
Yeah.
18.
It's powerful.
Right?
It's
And
a
it was
powerful
so
moment.
cool. Oh my god.
anyhow, good
Anyway,
stuff.
Are you
Orange is
speaking
good.
at it, Doug?
Yes, I
Main
am.
stage?
Yes, I am. I am. This is. I don't like it
You do.
because it's. No, I'm serious.
on.
Here's the deal.
Tell us why you don't like it, because that doesn't make sense. Kenny and I are just.
It's the
Listen,
most
Josh, your
pressure
boy.
I feel.
It's what? I missed
The
it.
most pressure I feel all year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, Andy Stanley speaks at it, and nobody wants to follow
okay.
Andy Stanley.
Yeah.
He's
And-
okay.
I give him a 6.
I've done it for like the last 6 years, and Reggie wants new material.
Yeah.
And so I always feel the pressure to create something new
Yeah.
for that conference. And now I'm testing out new material on 6,000 people.
Yeah.
So that's why I love the conference. I just don't always love speaking. I have diarrhea for about 3 weeks beforehand.
That's
Worth
great.
Yeah.
Worth it.
It's orange.
It's worth it.
Oh,
Fantastic.
and
All right.
scene. We'll be right back after this commercial. Wow.
This is, don't read this person's name. Hey, gang. I'm a youth worker at my local church. I was talking with a pastor who's looking to hire a youth pastor at the church. They were asking me about a youth pastor who they are considering as a possible candidate. The pastor was expressing some concern about the candidate's size. This individual is considerably overweight, and the pastor was wondering if this would be a negative factor. I've heard you guys talk a lot about your weight loss competitions, and I know several people who think that being overweight is a hindrance to a Christian's testimony. What do you guys think? Is being overweight a hindrance to ministry, especially youth ministry? Well, Jessica, you and I really can't answer that question.
For someone who's been a size 2 for most of her life. It's not an issue.
Yeah, if you're listening to the audio show, you're not appreciating this moment right now, Douglas Montgomery.
No. I just,
Yeah, Kenny's out on this one. I'm telling you.
I don't think so, Kenny.
You know what? You know what? If someone is bald,
Either that or you're wearing a small shirt.
if someone
Too
is
painful.
bald, does that hinder them from receiving the gospel or leading in
you're
some
putting
way?
bald in the same category as obese?
I am. It's genetics, okay? 23andme.com. That's the real thing. It's genetics. I don't know. Yes, it is a distraction. Sure. People make assumptions about your weight. Absolutely they do. They assume that you don't have that area in your life under control. And so can they trust what you say? Of course it's a distraction. Yes.
All right.
I'm not saying I believe that or that I don't want that to be true. It is true. And that's the way it is. Welcome to the harsh light of reality, folks. Sorry.
Counterpoint.
Please. Please, big guy.
I had a junior high leader that was pretty overweight, and he was one of the most influential people in my life. And if you look at Paul, he had some kind of thing holding him back.
He had a thorn in his side.
and
Could have been
somehow
his
God
love
used
handle.
him. But I don't know. But it is a distraction as well. I think, but it's tough to say. It's tough to characterize somebody and
For
how God
the
can
for the
use
long-term listeners, it would be great to bring Matt McGill in on this conversation.
be
Wouldn't that
awesome.
be great if we had
It would be amazing.
phone capabilities
Yeah.
there?
I think if he or she is the right person, you bring them in. You pray about it and ask for God's peace. I think everybody brings baggage, sin, whatever we're human, finite, broken people. And so pray for God's peace. And if that person is 300 pounds, bring them in. And they're going to pastor your kids, and it's going to be awesome.
Yep, I totally agree. Maybe not be great at dodgeball.
No, not necessarily fleet of foot, but
It helped kids get their esteem up. Easy target. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was an easy target. There you go.
Oh, that's good.
yeah, take one for the team there, Kenny.
We gonna weigh that one down, or are we?
Just
a heavy
my
topic.
heart is heavy. As I look at the topics we could cover, this one definitely tips the scales a little further.
That was
Not a weight to it.
reach.
I just pounded that one. Anybody else? Last call. Last
that's
call.
it.
Oh, close the window.
Heavy.
Anyone else want a second helping of jokes on that one? That's so stupid. My fat rolls are jiggling everywhere.
If I was a first-time listener, I would never.
Yeah,
come back.
Never
you'd be
listen
done.
again.
Yes, again. I'd
Yeah.
go home and eat gravy.
Sounds great.
All right, this is from Mark from Tennessee. Mark says, my question is one that I know most youth pastors will encounter in their ministry life, and that is how to work alongside parachurch organizations like Campus Crusade, Navigators, Young Life, etc. What's the best way to navigate this relationship? Some leaders can be awesome, and some of the leaders can be, well, not so good. I know that God wants us to not neglect the local body, and it's hard when you see some kids enjoying or participating with parachurch things rather than your youth group. Any advice to help me and others with this? Thanks, and God bless.
Love it. What do you got?
What do you
JC?
got?
All right, I'll start. I would say work together with people who want to work together. And if you don't want to work together, then I have no interest in working with you. And so FCA, we have a great relationship with our local Fellowship Christian athletes. They don't have a church or a ministry to send people to, and our area coaches or representatives, whatever, have been incredible at saying, we want to partner together. We want to reach students. We want to get them plugged into a church. And I say, that's the type of person I can hang out with. That's the person I want to do ministry with and life with. I was speaking up in Portland a month ago, and it was awesome. Young life leaders around this table at the training, and they were working hand in hand with the church. Like, that kind of attitude is going to build the kingdom. So if you've got kingdom builders there that want to work together, those are the people I work with. Other people, forget it. I don't have time.
Well, they all say they want to work.
That's true. That's
Right.
true.
Yeah. So you say you have a good relationship with the FCA people. So let me just push back a little
Please.
bit. Do you ever see any of those? Do you ever see any kids reached by FCA that then those FCA people bridge them into the church?
They would say that's one of their main goals.
I know everybody
Yeah.
says that.
Yeah.
That's I've been hearing that for 30 years.
That's true. That's true.
You know, we want to work with the church. We want to get them into the church, the whole bit. But then, you know, you're trying to do a Bible study on Wednesday night, and they do a
champions,
crazy or
Sure.
whatever thing.
Sure,
like,
Night of Champions, something,
any
yeah.
kid's gonna go, I'd rather go to that, and you know your attendance dips because all your church kids go to the outreach event.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I feel this guy's
I
pain.
feel it
because
too.
Every youth worker that has been, you know, that is lost in some ways to a parachurch organization.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean I'm not bagging on them the whole bit. I agree. When they say they want to work together, great. It's just pretty rare that you ever see them involved in your youth ministry.
Yeah.
You know, they want to work together to help build that club or whatever that is, but do you ever see the
Interesting.
kids go back the other way? I know there are cases. There were probably thousands of cases where it is working and it's beautiful and it's wonderful, and I like your whole idea. If we want to work together, let's work together. But I've heard a lot of rhetoric over the years about how it, you know, how, oh man, we want to get kids into the church. Great.
Yeah. And even though this question isn't as heavy as the last one, I think
Senior pastor moment right there.
It took him a while to come up with some. I respect
the youth
that.
workers were long gone on that one.
Yeah.
The senior pastor had to like,
Senior pastor's
No,
giggling.
this might be funny.
in all honesty, I got something weighty to say, so let me say it here.
We're gonna keep this going. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm with my dad right now.
Gosh. No, I had
No, hey,
I had
Doug,
an
your
awesome.
dad was sharper than this.
I had an awesome, I had an awesome pastor say to me, "Be careful who you link arms with," because for a lot of these reasons, we have to keep that in mind. We're always trying to be one church. We're always trying to walk in unity with other ministries and other things like this. But if you link arms with someone, you want it to be someone running in the same direction, someone with some of the same values, because you could really counteract everything that God's trying to speak to your congregation, to your youth group, to your people, if you go in a lane that's clearly not what God's called you to do for the sake of unity, when really it's not unity at all. It's just you trying to force something. So, you know, when you find people that are like-minded and like-spirited, it's good.
I agree.
I agree.
No, I want to be really clear that,
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't bashing
No.
parachurch ministries because I think they all have a purpose. To me, it's the rhetoric is a lot. So when you said, I just feeling for Mark and some others that have gone, everybody says they want to.
No, very, very true.
So, but there are many great ministries, and if we could work together, knowing that a church doesn't own a kid,
Yeah.
you know, but that here's why we're doing Wednesday night, or give us a heads up when you're going to do that event, or can we share calendars, or if we are going to work together, let's think through the strategy related to that. Maybe because you're better at, maybe you'd be better at outreach and we'd be better at discipleship. Could we play together? And the parachurch people are in difficult, you know, because they're trying to help all the churches. So, you know, do I link arms with the Methodist
How many
church or the
calendars
Baptist
do
church?
you have to sync? Yeah.
So I think it's difficult, but when the spirit is right.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you identify some clear goals that you have for each other, or even some like attainable things, like I'm going to speak here in FCA 3 times this year. So I know that 3 times I'm going to get in front of that audience and be able to talk about our church and faith. And if they don't have a church home, invite them there. So that'd be a big win. Vice versa, in our youth group, I'm going to say, hey, don't forget, El Toro FCA meets at noon on Tuesday. And if you go to Tribuco, it's on Friday this week or whatever, like in Mrs. Smith's room or whatever. Like work together, like push your students there. If there's some easily identifiable ways that you can hold hands and partner and work together, and then go after those. Yeah.
That's good.
A little of my cynicism with this is working at 2 churches for many years, so 11 years at one, 19 at another, and a lot of the parachurch ministries are self-funded, so they've got to raise their own support. So they've got, I can't tell you how many FCA directors in the 19 years I was at Saddleback came into this area, and you're like, hey, I'm the new FCA guy. I want to meet with you. Like, just met with the new FCA guy.
Right.
It seems like a few months ago, and
that's true.
So it's just tough to try to get your arms around your own strategy, your own ministry, let alone somebody else that wants to play as well. Josh, tell us what you like about LeaderTreks.
What I like about LeaderTreks
Besides
is
Angie Franklin.
I love Angie Franklin. She's the best part of that whole organization. Doug's okay too.
He's fine.
I think the refuel retreat from LeaderTreks is the best thing they do. I mean,
Jessica went.
Jessica is, you could tell us about that. But
so great.
They do a lot of things. They send people all over the country. They do serve trips. They do amazing student leadership material. But I think that idea of caring for youth workers, their souls escaping, I just value that in a crazy pace and youth ministry and church expectations. Just get away and be poured into with very little program, just love. That's awesome. So I'm actually talking about going to a refuel retreat. We'll see.
Yeah.
You won't. You're like an FCA person right now.
Okay, well, this is a few months off, but October 26th to 28th, there's Colorado Springs. That would be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun. They do like 4 or 5 of them all over the country. That would be a good one.
Yeah. Would you go again, Jessica?
Yeah, of course. The way that team cares, like, they will take you out to lunch and just spend an afternoon with you, asking you how you're doing. I've had people from their team call me months after the retreat to ask how they can be praying for me and how I'm doing. And they remember conversations that we had over a year ago.
That's great.
They're awesome.
That's great. Jason, what do you like about Youth Ministry 360?
I like that it reaches kids in youth ministry.
Do you know anything about it?
I think they do a good job.
They've been our sponsor for like 3 years.
Yeah, you should know. You've been on like 10 shows now.
I really like them.
This is Kenny we're talking to, not Jason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, you move your mouth and I'll tell you some things to say. I'm really excited about YM360's summer camp program. Their Elevate summer camps look unbelievable. If you have students in your youth ministry, you have to go to YM360 summer camp. Sign up today. And use a promo code. I don't know. Do we use a promo code?
Not for the
there's no promo code. Just pay full price.
Their camps might be sold out.
They
Their
might
camps
be.
are
They're awesome. I love how they went from like, we're doing some resources and whatever to like global dominate. They exploded this year. They are unbelievable company.
Cool.
Such great people. Andy and Les are good friends of ours. We love YM360. Great job, Kenny.
Thank you.
If you could do a little research on our sponsors, that'd be great.
Says the guy who couldn't get the orangeconference.org.com. Correct. I mean, right.
Feisty.
No, a little bit.
XP3.com.
There you go.
Doug loves XP3.com. Doug loves XP3.com. Free stuff.
Doug, send a kid to Azusa.com. We're fine. We're good.
That's right.
No better endorsement than that. My kid went there.
This is a good one and a little bit of a tough one. This is thanks for everything you do. I'm 12 shows away from seeing every episode.
Wow.
I've seen every episode because the little bit you did with the ventriloquism, I thought it won't be funny for people who are listening.
And way more people listen than watch.
Yeah.
So I get
actually,
that.
the people that watched, it probably won't be that funny.
I was, you know what? It was about helping
I
out
did my part.
YM360.
Yes. So I have a student who moved from Ohio to our area, which is Raleigh, North Carolina, and started coming to our church about a year ago. Super sweet girl that was able to immediately connect with one of my student leaders at her new school, and they just so happened to be on the same varsity basketball team. My student leader and her family have truly taken this young girl in as like their fourth daughter. They love and care for her as their own. They even paid for her to attend summer camp.
Wow.
She accepted Christ at summer camp. It's really been amazing to see this young lady grow in her relationship with Christ and plug it right into our youth group as well, and how the small group leaders have invested in her life. This year has been a struggle, though. Not on her part, but on her parents. The parents are not Christians. They don't attend our church or any church. They've made it very clear they have no desire or intention to. In the last 4 months, the dad has made it impossible for his daughter to participate in youth group because he believes that it's a waste of time and her focus should be on basketball so she can go to college. At times, he's even belittled her for, quote, believing such nonsense, unquote. I myself, this family, and our small group leaders have reached out multiple times to her parents. We come to every basketball game to cheer both of the girls on, intentionally make it a point to speak with the parents and try to get to know them. Even when her stepmom was in a bad accident, we provided a meal train to their family. Unfortunately, her parents have even gone so far as to throw away postcards we've written to her to stay in contact with and remind her that we care for her. The most difficult thing about this situation is the student really wants to be at church. She's called my wife and I, this other family, and her small group leaders in tears, begging for us just to do something and plead with her parents. It really breaks my heart. We've also had to deal with a situation recently where she snuck out of her house on her own and walked several miles just to come to church. So here's my question.
Yikes.
What do we do in this situation? I've made it clear to our small group leaders that this family that we have to respect her parents' wishes. But all this girl wants to do is be a part of a faith community and her friends and continue to growing in Christ. As far as I know, and what's been shared with the student leader, she's not a problem child. She's respectful and loving, but her parents have created a major roadblock. Any advice would be a great help.
Boy, that's tough.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's tough. Huh.
Well, I'll jump in. Church isn't a building. Church is where God's people are. So maybe provide a youth group service for her. I mean, talk about FCA.
Yeah.
You know, let's create a community for her at one of the lunches at church with the other student leaders there. Do a youth group there. You know, help her to see that church is where God's people are, and so bring the church to her in that setting. So, you know, I think you got to be really careful with the family related to that. I think you're doing. I love it that you're going to the basketball games and getting to know them. And when the mom was hurt, the church was there. You know, their hearts are hard. So, you know, scriptures are pretty clear that, you know, they're distancing themselves. So, you know, you continue to move in the direction of love, be Christ with flesh on, but provide youth group for her at a different time. That's my 2 cents.
I think it's such a great idea. So strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got to remember, too, that your job might be to water some very, very difficult soil. And there might be a lot of weeds there. You're just going to be faithful. You're going to plant seeds.
Right.
And even in that faithfulness that has been totally rejected, the torn up postcards, the disregard for love during the accident, all of that, that is love in God's name. And that
counts.
has not, it totally, completely counts. I do think there is a little bit of a tricky balance of you want her to honor her mom and dad, and you want to be really careful not to get involved there to the point that would cause her to disrespect them or, you know, break those family boundaries. So I think you got to do a little bit of a dance, but what a gift it would be to, you know, hey, we're not even going to call this church. We're not going to, but we're just going to all go crowd around her and eat lunch with her at a campus. That would
Pray
be
with her.
So cool.
Yeah, make her a music mix of worship song. I don't know,
Exactly,
whatever. Yeah. One thing I always taught my students to talk to either a hard-hearted parent or a boss or a coach or whatever is to and maybe this won't work, but it's an idea. Could this girl go to her dad and somehow say, Dad, I see this is the most important thing you want from me. You want me to practice basketball. You want this. I'm going to put an extra hour of work in a day if you let me go for 1 hour during the week. So I'll do everything you've already asked me to do. What if I put in an extra hour of work a day? You know, so what you're doing there is you're showing the dad, like, I'm respecting you, and what if I did that? I'll do everything you've asked, and if you allow me to do more. So same thing if like a coach won't let a kid miss a practice because of a missions trip. Could you say, hey, coach, could I make up the practice time by doing, 3-a-days and all this stuff? Like, could I do all this stuff if you let me miss this one practice?
Right.
Just because I don't want you to ever get disrespected as the coach or feel like my heart isn't in this is the team, but this is really important to me. Coach can still say no. The dad can still say no. But boy, you're showing something like, wow, this is really important.
Yeah, they're taking it seriously.
And maybe one of those scales would tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I think
No,
it's
I didn't. I wasn't going. Come on, man.
Kind of a serious question
This
there
was
to
like
be
the beans on
This
the
was
scale.
a
dropping a fat
Come
joke.
on.
Wow.
Give me a break.
All right.
Was inappropriate, Kenneth?
But I think it's so
Fat
important.
Kenny over there. Ooh.
I think it's important in these cases, like, to empathize with the student, obviously. You're in a tough spot, but so much in ministry is caught, not taught. And so the way that this team is responding to the parents, she's catching all of that.
Yeah.
This is how you love when it's really hard to agree with someone.
Yeah.
It's just, this is for the rest of your life. It might be your parents in this season, and God willing, they'll come to faith and they will believe in Jesus one day because of the testimony of their child and this incredible church and community. But then it'll be your boss later, or it'll be another person in a position of authority who doesn't respect what you believe or is asking you to do certain things that you don't agree with. And for this community, it seems like what they're doing is they are doing all they can to honor her mom and her dad and respectfully approach them and love them. And that is going to be such a gift to her, whether she recognizes it now or not. To just see this is the way that a follower of Jesus loves someone who has a hard heart, is you don't give up. And reminding her, we're going to keep praying like crazy. This fight's not over. We're going to keep going and believing in the power of prayer in the situation too, I think is really important.
Jessica.
Yeah.
That was solid.
For the win.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. No, please don't. They're very expensive.
Yeah. Hey,
No, please don't.
last question, because our senior pastor has to go. He's
For my daughter, who's a
Thank-
priority, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you drop the daughter card.
Yeah, there it is. Wow. Okay. So it's going to be like that.
This person says, hey, everyone, love the show. Really appreciate the wisdom you guys bring every week. And also, we like you, Kenneth. Here's my question. I started as an interim youth director 4 years ago. Before that, I had been working as a volunteer within the same ministry at the same church before I was recommended to take over as interim youth director by the former youth pastor. I was so blessed to have the term interim shredded and become a regular staff member over time. I love my church family, and this is where I came to know Christ and had my calling into ministry. However, since I took over, I've since gotten married and a couple other responsibilities that I didn't have 4 years ago. I love our youth and our ministry is growing both spiritually and in numbers. It's been an awesome time to be a part of the ministry. However, our overall church numbers are down from 4 years ago. Money has gotten tighter within the church. I don't want to leave, but I'm only a part-time youth worker putting in full-time hours, but I don't want to get another job to take away from what's happening within our youth ministry. Is it appropriate to ask for more money, or should I simply sit on this and wait through some tough personal money issues? I feel like I need to take care of my wife and family before anything else. Everyone has a 30-second answer.
Agreed. You got to take care of your wife and family. Look for supplemental income. Look for creative ways that you can, if you feel called and you know you need to be there, at least look for ways, and God will provide. But you also can't not take care of your wife and family. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say put your family, your marriage before your ministry.
Always.
And just because you're called doesn't mean you have to be called into a paid position. You can do great youth ministry as a volunteer. Maybe the best thing to do is to go get a great job, full-time job, make some money, help support that youth ministry, and be a volunteer.
Yeah. I'd say don't wrestle with it alone, is have a conversation with someone in a position of authority at your church. Is here's where I'm at. Can you help me process this? Is just be honest about where you're at. And if they can do it, great. And if they can't, then there are options of continuing to minister in a different in a different way.
Yeah, I
maybe
like
not
it.
paid.
I like it. I feel the same way. Ask, make it, let it be known. Don't hide behind that. Don't get passive aggressive or let it fester. And also, if you're going to get a job, become a barista near a high school. You're going to have a lot of interaction with high school students that way. Work at, maybe look for a job that kind of has some ministry opportunities on it as well. Become a Download Youth Ministry author because you can get some great income from that as well and serve other youth ministries in that way. So look for creative ways to fund what God's doing in your heart. It's awesome.
Great income from being a Download Youth. Some people have made great incomes.
Yeah.
Some have.
Some have.
Some have made more from Download Youth Ministry as authors that nobody's ever heard of before than they are making at their church. I love that.
There's a little aside. I think we're done with the question. I got a check from a company that I did a couple books with, and it was good. I was very pleased. And then I was looking through some of the authors just from this month. We're only 4 or 5 days in, and some of them in this month had made more than I'd made in 6 months with a couple of books. The book's a couple of years old, whatever, but could not believe
not
it.
a good book.
And they're not great. I mean, they're co-written with Doug Field, so marginal, but I was crazy. Some DYM people have done really well. It's really exciting to help youth workers and fund their youth ministries
become a
too.
DYM member. Check it out. And if you need more information on that, we'd love to get that.
And check out Youth Ministry 360, right?
Oh, you love them. Tell them more about them.
Yeah.
Man.
How is your facial paralysis?
Hey, but seriously, guys, this was a heavy show, man. Good.
Boo.
All right. Well, that brings it into episode 285.
The heavy show.
Josh and I are going to go do CrossFit.
I like it. I'm in.
I'm not.
Jessica's size 2, doesn't need to.
No.
Yep.
And Jason's going
Kenny.
to try to stretch out that shirt a little bit.
Kenneth Jason Carson.
I don't have a complex.
No, I'm sure it had cotton at some point. All right, Josh, anything else?
No, that's it.
All
Great
right.
show. It's fun. Thanks, Jess.
Heavy
Jess,
stuff,
thank you for
guys.
being here.
Of course.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me.
Thanks for driving so far to
I know. It was a ways.
Long ways to the studio.
Wow.
Torres Sanchez.
That's it. Cheers.